Alright, cursed review. Let's wait a bit for the thumbnail of the file to update with this. Raul and the Vampire. So after reading some meme mangas on manga decks, I got to the BL tag through one of them. Which meme mangas? Number 1, My Brainrot Girlfriend. Number 2, the BL reference to the Reddit Pekora cosplay copypasta. Man, the comments are wild on this. This is exactly me. I got to the BL tag through that latter one, noticing that the staff pic matches up with a BL tag. I was wondering. Turns out it's a femboy vampire, not a young girl.
What?
Anyways, the pairing is subversive, so of course it's a bit popular. Big man, but the tiny vampire femboy outages him. Used to be a father figure, and is also strong. I guess the author takes care to equalize them in terms of responsibility for each other. Even more with chapter 7. The brother arriving and saying Raul is playing with the tiny vamp's feelings. Very odd. There was even edgy, but 1. Judging by the past, it wouldn't surprise me if a woman wrote it, although a man probably did. 2. I'm saying this with eyes as blacked out as Vampire Rose. Not enough. This is one of my darkest, worst reviews. Good character design, a subversion premise, etc. It's doing the right things, but for me it's not good enough. Novelty alone won't make it. Not using the gay F word when describing what beats this is hard, but it's the one emulating the style from the 80s, getting an anime adaptation soon, which I might even watch even though I didn't want to at first. Judging by the new characters rapidly introduced toward chapter 10, it's written by a male after all. The Asian culture is different, but really, I shouldn't be so focused on the author's gender. It's only because I just heard a character analyzing of Demon Slayer, which made me notice that it's very feminine arrangement of assigning meaning. It's nice that a female author is in shonen and got so big. Based off of my idea on feminine versus masculine science, feminine being lateral thinking, and masculine vertical thinking. Anyways, the world is not so confined and dual. In fact, it's a large breadth of human variety and experience, culture and societies. Die Kontrollzentrale. Overhead view, huh? Let's just tell the story. I was planning to make this into a video. This really short review, in fact, which I made just in one afternoon. Yeah, I decided to be mean. Once I saw the blacked out eyes, I did. Man, I was so mean to this. A stuck-up fool. One of the big takes in this review is about the author's gender. The second big take about the industry and its place in that. Both were flawed. For the first take, I wrote on my phone, since I was manifesting a bit. The next day after I wrote this, I encountered it reflected in the real world, and it clashed with me. The worst of it was here. I am so glad I questioned myself right this. I am so glad I wrote this. This eases the pain. I was looking at Twitter to finally find the truth, whether this author is female, as I thought, or male, as I also thought. I'll say it first because it's good. Once again I overcomplicated, but I compared making stories to a sport, or rather I look at stories like the author is an athlete. Author's traits can be objectively measured, and at one venue it is a sports science to review. This is from it matters less the time, the culture, the place, and less the more detailed it gets. Thousands of variables, like the solar flare in speedrunning. The solar flare that affected the computer, leading to a glitch in a game in speedrunning. Well, you got what I mean, it's sports science. Let's first talk about the practice of comparing, trying to get the author's gender. There I noticed it. And from then on it went downhill. The author's Twitter, so I searched for the truth. The profile pic is a rose. This character is called Rose in the story. And guess what comes after? Allegations. A friggin' bullshit! It's clear now. This scream is because people are doing this and it's cringe. Parasocial relationships
Just stop it.
with authors.
Stop this.
Instead, sports science.
Well, anyways,
I'm happy for this person. Yeah, this is a cooked response you get when you... Seriously now. It's clear that an author's experience matters. Even so, in sports science, it seems knowing or guessing an author's gender in reviewing holds much more risk than reward. Demon Slayer is an outlier. Say, what do you think about this? The power dynamics. I hate saying that. It lacks nuance, viewed from an egotistical neurotic angle. Who invented this concept? Use social capital instead. The interesting relationship. Let's call it flowing, mixing. Alright? The circus of morality. Not physically. So I collected the footage. That this will never beat Rosa Versailles, this. But then I noticed, this is mostly fan service. But it isn't! 1. The goal isn't success. 2. I didn't even read or watch any of Rosa Versailles. I just heard it praised. The goal is joy. That's why One Piece and Dragon Ball, the original Dragon Ball, are so successful. Is that ironic? I don't care anymore with the conveyor belt amount of manga turned into anime. I want more good, best. I want the best amount of the best good, the most. This is the control center after all. If there may be an arc turning both Rose and his brother Rouge into demon-like vampires, for example, after a clan meeting they lose their emotions, and turns out humans give them flavor in their life like blood, etc, blah blah blah, poetry. Anyways, an arc about feelings and sociopathy would be interesting. And the vampire hunting too. An arc of ostracization is possible too, with the main premise the femboy wife bro pre-ordered his husband. But it was probably fun creating this. Looks good too, but just not exceptional. Still better than the average isekai. Probably this John was starving for something like this. Chapter 8's close yet fast scene and blood drinking, good. Interesting. The flashbacks provide even one more opportunity for a kind of fan service without breaking the immersion or balance. If this isn't the best of whoever wrote it, I have a better impression of them now. Yeah, brutality is noticed when Chapter 10 got a married setting. For those who don't know, Chapter 10 is where Neo readers usually quit. And now I'm at Chapter 11, really being productive the only way I can now. I can't learn anything on the usual stuff, so I read manga instead of finishing the video that will anchor me. On that, this is a crazy video to make. Well, now I have to live analyze. Fan service. Here. I noted. Well, whatever. Those who know. I wish the author success, and I noticed in page 18 of chapter 11, it really might be a female author. The chibi characters were my first clue, the character designs my second, and now playing house. It's fun slice of life though, quite a difference from trash shonen, which at one point you can't even say male author to the ones who make that trash isekai. You can just say, over 20 inexperienced video gamers slop. I will use my new skill, sword art, generic slash. Get out. Wait, this is chapter 12. Playing house, huh? What a twisted, broken review. Alright, it's Kino now.
ねえ、早く帰ってきてね。
I was such an arrogant brat. It would have went better had I not seen it with darkly tinted glasses, even when I was right. Chapter 11 is really good. The latest Raw Chapter 13 also has the best drawings yet. These facial expressions are nice. Everything seems a lot more fleshed out now. This author is really blossoming, and this premise is certainly worth the effort.